there, pal.
People in arguments will often use the term gaslight in ways that don't actually apply to their situation. Like, a disagreement is not gaslighting. Remembering events differently is not gaslighting. Somebody not validating your feelings, even if you're totally in the right, it's still not gaslighting. But today we're going to talk about a actual real example of that, and it happened to your boy way back in the day. So let me take you back.
What we do here is go back.
Derapy. Season 3 of Derapy.
Like the video.
Okay, so I'm 16 years old and I'm in choir. Now, the thing about being in choir in high school is that if you've been in a high school choir, you understand that 95 to 98% of the people in the choir are girls. They're young girls. And if you're a boy in choir, you inevitably are going to get a pretty significant amount of attention from the girls in the choir. I know that because I did it from 7th grade all the way through 12th grade. So there will be around 20 to 30 girls in the class, and there will be anywhere between like 3 and 6 guys. So
We like our odds.
they're not necessarily spoiled for choice. Now, I'm basically saying all this to say you don't have to be the coolest or the most charismatic or the funniest guy in order to get some girls' attention. Now, I did happen to be the most cool and charismatic and funny guy, but that's not the point. I didn't have to be.
Stop the cap.
So one day in choir, there's this girl. Let's call her Nunchuck, okay? So Nunchuck is this very, very, very skinny girl. She's blonde. She has blue eyes. She's pretty, though. She has, like, braces. And the thing about this girl is she's a very physically affectionate person in general. And she uses that to her advantage, whether it be with other girl friends in her life or if she's flirting with a guy. Now, I never really took too much notice to this girl because I'm going to be honest, she just wasn't really like my type of gal, like physically. I've always been into like a more well-rounded, more defined. How do I say this?
Thick!
Editor Derek will say something. But thick! Basically, she's pretty, but not my type. Whatever, doesn't matter. So one day, out of the gosh darn blue, I don't know what's going on in choir that day, but maybe it's either the beginning of class or it's the middle of class where our choir instructor is out of the room. I don't know what's going on, but I just remember her coming on to me. And by coming on to me, I mean like, I'm paraphrasing, but this is basically what happened. So Nunchuck comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, Derek, I really like you, you know?" And at this point, I've grown some confidence over the course of high school, and I'm like, "Oh, well, thanks, you know, I like you too. You're very cool." So then Nunchuck takes a seat next to me. She's very close to me, and she starts telling me all these things she likes about me. Tells me that I'm really cool. I'm really good at singing. I mean, there isn't much competition because there's like 2 or 3 other guys in the class, but she thinks that I'm very funny. She's talking about the things that I do around the school, about how, like, you know, just stuff that she admires about me. And I, as a 16-year-old boy, am very taken aback by this. I'm trying to be really cool about it, but this is a lot for me because this is not the type of attention that I'm used to. I'm not used to girls just coming on to me out of the blue. Now, credit to her. I mean, this is really cool. Like, I wish more girls, women in general, were like this when I was younger and they were like this when I was older. So I'm taken aback, but like generally having a good time, totally fine. Now, it gets weird, okay? So she basically tells me that she likes me a lot and she thinks we should be friends. And I'm like, I think we should be friends too. I think you're a nice person. You're being real nice right now. And then she says, "No, I want you to be like my special friend. You want to be like my special friend?" And to me, as a 16-year-old, I'm internally losing it. I'm like, whatever this entails, I think I might be down. Like, this is incredible. I can't believe this is happening. So this is where things go off the rails. She voluntarily, I promise you, this is not a normal thing that happens in high school choir rooms. She just sits on my lap.
Yoink.
It's so crazy. Like, I can still, like, I feel like I could just put myself right back there. It was a really, really intense experience for a 16-year-old young man to have a girl that is pretty attractive. Just come over, start talking sweet to you, and then just sit on your lap. And she's telling me basically that we're going to get along real well. I'm her new special friend, and she's just whispering me sweet nothings. Now, I wouldn't have believed that this was a real thing that was happening to me, but there's another character in this story, and we're going to call him Chansey. Now, Chansey is basically my best friend all throughout middle school and high school, at least when it comes to choir. He's my best friend in choir. And I remember him telling me after class that day, he's like, what was going on with you and Nunchuck in there? She's sitting on your lap. What's she saying to you? I'm like, dude,
I feel like I'm Gucci Mane in 2006.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it's pretty cool. Now, I hope you're keeping up. There's another character in this story. We're going to call him Alfred. Now, Alfred, very cool guy, extremely kind. Like, he is known around school for being very, very nice. But he's also on the football team, and he's huge. Like, he's so much bigger than me at this point. At this point, I'm like 5'5".
Aren't you still?
Don't say it.
You're still 5 foot.
I'm like 5'5", and I'm like 150 pounds. I'm not packing really anything. Okay.
What do you mean by that?
Now, I am on the football team, however, and Alfred is also on the football team. And the reason why I bring up Alfred is because it turns out that Nunchuck and Alfred are dating. They are in a committed relationship. And I am not made privy to this until after this incident where I'm being told by Nunchuck that I'm going to be your special little friend, and she's sitting on my lap and she's talking into my ear in the middle of the day, by the way. Like, we're talking like probably before 11 o'clock in the morning. This is happening to me. So I go to football practice later that day. And football practice is normal. Alfred's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. And I realize that I don't want any problems. This attention I'm getting from Nunchuck is super cool. I love it, but I'm not trying to get destroyed just generally physically, whether it be a football practice or just walking the hallways at school. So after practice, I walk directly up to Alfred, who is older than me. He's in a grade higher than me. He plays a bigger, stronger, more essential position than me on this football team. And I say, Alfred, I have to tell you something, because if I were you, I'd want to know. And I basically tell him, your girl,
She for the streets.
Nunchuck, you guys are together, right? Like, that's a thing. He's like, yeah. I'm like, my guy, she was coming on to me today. I know it sounds crazy and it's completely out of the blue, but she was talking to me about being her special friend. She was all up on me. I could not bring myself to tell him that she was sitting on my lap, because I just assumed I would just wake up a couple weeks later in the event that I was like, oh yeah, she was taking a seat on my Johnson.
What the fuck, y'all?
She parked right in my spot, man. I don't know what to tell you. So I didn't do all that. I was just like, she's coming on to me. I think she likes me, and I just wanted you to know. And Alfred handles it as well as you possibly could. Alfred says, you know, I appreciate you letting me know that, man. I'm going to take care of it. It's going to be fine. And he puts his hand on my shoulder. I remember this vividly. He patted me on the shoulder, and it wasn't like one of those really like strong passive aggressive things. Like, he seemed like legitimately glad that I let him know. And he just walked off like nothing happened. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I'm so glad that I handled that the way that I did. I don't know what's going to happen, but I trust this guy to handle it. The next day, the weirdest thing happens. I'm sitting in choir. It's before class starts. Nunchuck walks into class, and it's crazy how you can just tell by somebody's walk and their face. They are not only infuriated, but with you specifically. She walks straight towards me, and she is ready to make a scene. I can just tell. And I'm like, what's up, Nunchuck? And she says, doesn't even introduce the topic at hand, doesn't know good morning, nothing. Nunchuck immediately. So I don't know what gave you the impression that I liked you or wanted anything other than for you to just be a classmate or a fellow choir member. But I do not have feelings for you. I don't know what confusion is going on in your head, but I do not like you like that. And I would appreciate if you don't go around telling people that I do. Dork! She is full on scolding me. She's giving me the business. I'm getting completely handled. and I don't have a response because
You're a coward.
I'm so confused. I've never been so confused in my entire life. Up in my 16 years of living, I have never been so
Flabbergasted.
taken aback. And she's telling me that she doesn't know why. I would think that she liked me. She's telling me that I'm completely confused. I must have lost my mind. I'm reading signals that aren't even there. And I'm just like, okay. And what's funny is a couple days ago, we had no real contact. Like I wouldn't even have considered us friends. She's just another person in choir. And all of a sudden she's yelling at me in front of everybody in this class, saying that I have this like obsession with her, or like I'm imagining things. I'm delusional about this relationship. And I'm like,
I didn't say anything back.
I say nothing. I just get owned. So at some point in the middle of class that day, I lean over to my best pal at the time in choir, my boy Chancey, and I'm like, yo, you remember yesterday when Nunchuck was like on me, right? Like she was leaning on me. And he's like, yeah, dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I swear, like, I promise you, dude, like I saw yesterday, I was confused. And I was like, yeah, everybody's acting like that didn't happen yesterday. I don't understand what's going on. So I was being gaslit. I was talking to a friend that is current day friends with Nunchuck, and I was like, yo, I need to tell you this story, and tell me if this sounds like some type of thing that I hallucinated or a dream that I thought was real but was actually just a dream. And I'm talking to my friend, and she's like, yeah, I believe that Nunchuck would do that. And I'm just glad that from somebody that was actually there and somebody that knows this person now is just confirming the fact that this is a real thing that happened to me. I don't know to this day what the conversation was between Alfred and Nunchuck, but I'm just glad that Alfred didn't feel the need to attack me and addressed it with his lady friend. I think that's awesome. Can we get more of that? I think that what she did was like, I think she was under the impression that I would either just be super cool with the arrangement, the special friend thing, or I would just never put myself in danger by approaching Alfred about this. But like, I'm not trying to wreck anybody's home, okay? I don't want any beef. I see this guy every day at practice. I see this guy every day at school. Like, I don't want any problems. And I wasn't coming up on anything. Like, I had my own prospects at the time. I was working on other things. Psych! Other lovely young ladies at the time.
Sure, dude.
Nunchuck springing things on me was just not in the cards. So, yeah, I got gaslit. It was wild. And to this day, that's I think that's the hardest I've ever been gaslit in my life. Like, to this day, that still holds the personal record. You guys are going to love this, okay? So when I initially put this episode out, I sent it to a couple of people from high school that were in that choir class to see if any of them remembered it. And a lot of the people I sent it to from choir, they're like, yeah, I don't remember that. And I was like, there's no way. I know that this happened. So I decided to reach out to Alfred directly. I sent him the episode because it was his girlfriend at the time. So I reached out to him on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, yo, this involves somebody that you may know. Let me know what you think. And he says, this is really good, man. Keep up the great work. And, you know, I appreciate the feedback, but that is like only half the, like I was, you know, like I know the episode's good. Like I make good podcasts, but I'm like, yo, do you remember that situation at all? And he says, I do, with an exclamation point. And I'm like, bro, she had me thinking that I lost my mind. And he said, Nunchuck was very good at manipulating emotions and getting others to see her view, even if what she was saying was a lie. When I confronted her, she gaslit me too.
Got him. We fucking got him.
Bro, like, why did she do that? To this day, like, I still don't know. Like, she never even told him, even after they broke up. So, like, I was just a pawn in some game. But yeah, if you've ever been gaslit to this degree, please share your story in the comments. If you like throwback pods like this, little stories that I have deep in the catalog, leave a like on the video. Let me know. If you're on Apple or Spotify, leave a 5-star rating. And if you want to support the show, consider becoming a member. It's literally $1. You get exclusive access, member-only posts. You join a fun Derapy Discord where we chop it up. Also, Also, if you make music of your own, I'm going to be reviewing music soon, but you gotta pay that dollar, dog. I'm not out here doing free promo. I'm gonna just keep it $1.60. That's all I got for you today. Love you, mean it. New episode on Thursday. Enjoy the outro. Cracking my windshield, I'm pissed off. If you a hater, get lost.
Get lost.
Yeah, it's my show and I'm in charge. Don't eat lemon pepper wings, but I'm the big boss. Please cut me slack, man, need a discount. About to jump off the roof, that's a dismount. I'm just playing.
I'm okay.
Okay, but like, are you though?
Sorry for the pause, that's awkward. Start a podcast, cause I knew I was a talker. Yeah, my girl love me, but she's sick of my voice. And you know I'm pro-choice, so she do what she want. Why they hate when I get political? I'm a deep thinker, that's critical. Way too serious for a dude not getting paid. Man, I really need a shave. You know what sucks? Most of season 2 a day. Taking shots, but I skip out on the bar. Every single show, I swear I wanna raise the bar. Hope you listen close so you never miss the bar. Say the same thing, but I'm still going.